Tonight on CTV News at 5, foul play suspected in a Kitchener resident's disappearance. The latest update in an arson investigation. Plus, retorquing your tires, the important safety reminder when switching over to your winters. And passport to flavor, from street eats to Michelin seats, a guide to travel for foodies. CTV News at 5 starts right now. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here with us. The search for a missing Kitchener resident has taken a troubling turn. Police now say foul play is suspected in the disappearance of 25-year-old Eli Wood, who went missing after the home they were living at went up in flames a few weeks ago. Eli lived in the rear unit of the home on Major Street in Kitchener, which was destroyed by fire the morning of October 19th. The fire caused significant damage to the back end of the home, and police are investigating it as arson. Eli hasn't been seen since. Initially, regional police believed the disappearance was suspicious, and yesterday they confirmed foul play is believed to be a factor. There's been no word on any suspect in the arson or the disappearance, but police say their major crimes unit is investigating.
Investigators have obtained enough information and enough grounds to determine that there was foul play involved in the disappearance of Eli. Just because of the integrity and just to maintain the respect and the integrity of the investigation, we're unable to really explain or disclose any of that information.
Again, the cause of the fire under investigation. Police are urging anyone with information to come forward to help detectives piece together what exactly happened and to help find Eli. A family in Guelph says they fear for their safety after their car was set on fire in a suspected arson. It happened just before 2 o'clock Sunday morning at a home on Montana Road. Surveillance footage appears to show a person lighting something nearby before placing it under the vehicle. Within minutes, the car was engulfed in flames. The fire was contained to the car and the home sustained minor heat damage, but the family says it could have been much worse. Police are investigating and have not said whether the incident was random or targeted. CTV's Alexandra Hollick will have more on this story for us coming up at 6. Next, a community here in southern Ontario rallying to help victims of the hurricane that hit Jamaica. We'll bring in CTV's Tony Grace live in studio for more on this and some other news we're following this hour. Tony, good afternoon.
And good afternoon, Leanne. That includes farmers here in southwestern Ontario at Burlow's Best Farm in Simcoe. Workers hope to pack a 40-foot container full of relief supplies. The farm's owner says many foreign workers from Jamaica work in Norfolk County. They want to fill the container by Friday afternoon, but say they'll continue to collect donations even after it's shipped.
It's the right thing to do, right? You know, they come here, they sacrifice their time, they work hard. I mean, they make good money. They go home and have a pretty good living. The problem is when everything gets ruined in a storm like that, they need a little help.
At 6, CTV's Karis Mapp will hear from a farm worker who has personal ties to the cause. And also tonight, we hear from the lone vote against the region's planned extension of the LRT to Cambridge. That is the mayor of Cambridge, Jan Liggett, who says while the city needs mass transportation, she feels this plan is insufficient.
My concern was that it was only going from one shopping area to another. It wasn't going to people's homes, it wasn't going to people's work, which is where the most traffic needs to be going.
Mayor Liggett says she favors bus rapid transit instead. CTV's Jeff Pickle covering that story, and we'll have more at 6. Leanne?
Okay, Tony, thanks very much. A gloom, dreary day out there, Alex, as we take our first check on the forecast. Rainy, pretty much on and off throughout the entire day.
Yeah, pretty much on and off, and that cloud cover sticking with us, not seeing much of that sunshine out there, and it looks like we're going to be in for some cloudy conditions for pretty much the rest of the week as well.
I will say I did get out this morning before the rain moved in, so got a little walk-in just before it came in.
Ever so slightly. But yes, right now, though, we're noticing more of that cloud cover out there. But before we get to that, a special weather statement in place for much of southwestern Ontario. Really strong winds from this afternoon right through to the evening, potentially 70 to 80 kilometers an hour. And when we look at our satellite and radar map, we're still noticing those showers sticking with us. Traveling out towards the east at this point in terms of extremely heavy rainfall. We're not seeing that at this point, mainly fairly light. 8 degrees it is right now in Kitchener-Waterloo. Similar conditions if you're joining us from London or even Goderich, a little bit further south and west in the double digits still this afternoon. And yes, looking ahead to the rest of the week, more rain potentially, and even some flurries could be in the forecast. So we'll get into that a little bit later. And here's a live look from outside of downtown Kitchener. From our tower cam this hour, we're noticing those gray skies still sticking around.
Hey, looks like a little pause in the wet weather, though. Not too bad. Now's the time to sneak a walk in or get outside.
Run out if you can.
Exactly. We'll take a quick break and tell you what you need to know. You can kick off the holiday season early at the Air Christmas Market. Check out local vendors, free family photos, and hot chocolate, to name a few of the things. All the proceeds go to It Takes a Village Air, a local organization supporting families in need in Waterloo Region. It's happening Saturday from 2 to 7 p.m. at Knox United Church in Air. Stay with us.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVKitchener.ca, your home for news.
A Waterloo Region nonprofit Guitars for Kids is looking for a new space to store their guitars. The organization, which takes damaged or unplayable guitars, refurbishes them and gives them to kids in need. Guitars for Kids never had to pay for a storage unit because of a charity agreement. But new ownership has taken over. The deal has been terminated, and the clock is ticking to find a new unit because they can't afford to pay full price for the current one.
So as the treasurer, that's a $2,400 a year unit. And that's pretty close to what we have in the bank. So that wipes us out.
CTV's Spencer Turcotte will bring us the full story coming up tonight at 6. Traveling is not just about the destination. For many who love to eat, it's also about the food. We are joined today by Mitchell Alexander, the editor-in-chief of Globetrotting magazine. Great to have you back, my friend.
So good to be here.
Okay, I love this because we talked about this previously. We both love travel. I'm such a foodie. I know you're such a foodie. So we are going to do a passport to food, I'll call it today.
Let's go.
Okay, what are we making?
Well, we're making something in honor of the Flavors issue of Globetrotting magazine. It's going on newsstands this week. My favorite issue that we've ever done. Food, drink, travel, that's me. That's you too, right?
Yeah, you can't get better than that. So I'm sure there's a lot of great ideas in the magazine as well.
Absolutely. We also want to give your viewers a free subscription to go to Globetrotting. You just go to goglobetrotting.com to sign up for that.
Okay, great.
And I'm going to tell you a story about where I spent the summer, which was a true privilege in Italy.
Amazing.
Pretty great. So,
not a bad way to spend your summer.
Not at all. And on a trip planned by a Go-Away travel advisor, they're based here in Toronto. They do tailor-made trips, and for me, that's all about food. Everywhere I travel, it's all around the food and the food experiences. So what I'm going to share with you today is something called cicchetti. This is a type of dish that's unique to Venice in Italy, and it's essentially like Italian tapas. I'd never heard about it before, just by traveling in many other different parts of Italy.
Okay.
So we're going to make a very particular kind, and cicchetti is often some sort of small crostini with just some amazing toppings. Pretty much anything goes. So what we have here cooking in the pan here is some mixed mushrooms and some pancetta.
Okay, it smells delicious already.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we're going to kind of keep this cooking as we go, and then we're going to apply it to the crostinis that we have waiting over here.
Okay, so I'm going to start with this. What do we have on our crostinis over here?
So this is an important trick. If you just put a little thin layer of whipped ricotta, it makes sure that anything that you put on top of there is going to stay put, especially if we've got a lot of small little things that are kind of coming together like that.
Like what's happening here with me. But it kind of, it adds to the board, I think. It still looks good.
And it's going to taste, honestly, so good.
Sorry, I'm making a mess, but what can we do? We're going to make it look pretty in the end.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that I love, too, about tapas, Mitchell, is that travel is about the experience. when you're eating food, it's nice to share that with people, share the experience, share the dishes.
Absolutely. Cicchetti is typically a lunchtime dish, actually, and it's best enjoyed with an Aperol Spritz or a Hugo Spritz, if you've had one of those. A slightly lighter take on that. So you have this around like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You've been walking around all day. You're with your friends. You just want to take a load off. And maybe you don't have a huge appetite, but you can get 5 or 6 of these, and you can have each one be completely different.
Now, just make sure I'm on a patio in Venice when I do this. Okay?
Absolutely. I'll show a few other ones that we've done here for you. You can put a little sprinkle of basil there. We have mortadella with whipped ricotta and pistachio. We have stewed eggplant and tomato with anchovy on top. Do you like anchovy?
I do,
My favorite. And then we have creamed cod over here, which is much tastier than it sounds.
Creamed cod, wow.
Actually, no cream in there either. It's creamy from the emulsification when you add in that
So
olive
you can
oil.
really do anything with these crostinis. You've got so many different flavor profiles here. How do you come up with them all?
Honestly, I go first based on the color and the presentation, because how much fun do these all look together?
They look great.
And you can reverse engineer anything.
Okay.
Now, are you the type of person who takes photos of your food?
I love to take photos of the food.
Okay, me too. I always have my phone out. And just this summer, actually, Globetrotting, in partnership with Go Away Travel, celebrated the inaugural Micro Film Festival. It was about 55-second travel videos of people's firsthand experiences out there, like social media storytelling, Instagram Reels, and you wouldn't believe how many of those were all about food.
Well, I think a lot of my travel photos when I'm on the go are taking photos of the food that I'm eating on that trip.
You need to send me more of those, by the way.
I certainly will. Okay, I have to get to the last thing as well, because we have these tins and you have a great story behind them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm known for bringing back great souvenirs, and I spend a lot of time when I'm out there making sure I get something that's really thoughtful. This, by the way, my friend Emma just brought me back from Japan. She knows me. So food-related souvenirs are great. These are cookies from Paris, tea from England, but it's in a reusable tin, and that can hold travel memories, it can hold anything, but it keeps that gift going on.
Could even hold your recipes for, you know, your recipe cards for what you're going to make.
Then they don't have to stay up here anymore.
Exactly,
I love
it's
that idea.
perfect. Well, these are great ideas, great inspiration of what you can eat when you go travel as well. Mitchell, thank you so much for our passport to food.
Thanks for helping out.
Here's what you need to know as we take you to break. From sweet to sour and savory, foodies unite at the St. Jacobs Market Food Tour. Bring your taste buds Thursdays from November to April. It happens from 9:30 to 11:30 and costs $42 plus a booking fee. Stay with us.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
We've been talking about how it's a gloomy day out there. I know I have officially entered soup season when that is almost all I want to eat. Soup, pasta, casseroles, those warm, comforting meals.
Yeah, we were meal prepping some chili earlier this weekend.
Chili, that sounds good.
Very good and perfect for this kind of weather, especially when it's a bit gloomy outside. We're noticing a little bit of rain, potentially some flurries that we could see this week as well. But we're definitely getting into, like you said, kind of that soup cozy season.
I don't like the sound of the flurries. Not yet.
No, shouldn't stick around though. But you know, we are into November officially. As we take a look from North Waterloo, from our tower cam tonight. So we are still noticing a bit of that cloud cover. Some showers pretty much on and off throughout the day as well. Some light rain we're noticing out there. So depending on where you work, it can be a little bit heavy from time to time. But one thing we're definitely noticing as we get into the afternoon and the evening hours, that wind. So again, depending where you are, it is quite gusty. From time to time as well. So this prompting a special weather statement today from Environment and Climate Change Canada. So these gusty winds expected to stick around as we get into the afternoon and into your evening hours. So this is a northwesterly wind gusting anywhere from 70 to 80 kilometers an hour. And we can thank that passage of a cold front for that one as well. So of course, with these strong winds, potentially we can see branches being broken, loose objects being thrown, and of course, power outages are possible. So something to keep in mind as we get into your evening hours. But looking at our future cast, seeing a little bit right now for us here in Kitchener-Waterloo, depending on where you are, of course, a little bit of a break. If not, maybe you're experiencing a little bit of light shower activity. A little bit further north, though, Barrie Aurelia seeing rain a little bit heavier as we get into the evening hours. We could get a break in terms of the overnight, but then this is where we could see a little bit of that mixing. So a chance for some rain and or flurry activity is possible, especially getting into your overnight early Thursday morning hours. By the afternoon, though, we should get a little bit of a break before Friday. That's when we could see potentially more wet weather make our way towards the east here. So in terms of the rest of the work week, like we said, that cloud cover expected to stick around. We might want to keep that umbrella nearby as well. Temperature-wise, we are dipping down as the hour continues. So 7 degrees right now for us here in Kitchener-Waterloo, 9 in Toronto, 9 in Hamilton. Some other areas a little bit further southwest, still in that double-digit territory tonight. 2 degrees as we get into the overnight hours. That's what we're expected to drop down to, mainly cloudy. And again, that rain or flurry mix is possible. And a little bit earlier, the evening hours, there is a risk for thunderstorm activity. It's a slight risk at this point, but that is a possibility before getting into the overnight. Then tomorrow, 7 degrees is our expected daytime high, cloudy, and again, we could see some rain and or flurry activity mixed in. Again, that possibility there. That sun now rising 7:02, and it is setting 5:08 p.m. We went down at 5:10 yesterday, so getting closer and closer to 5 o'clock on the dot. So once we get past potential mixing for your Thursday, some periods of rain expected as we wrap up the work and school week, high of 9 degrees, and then we could see a little bit of cloud cover to start your weekend.
Okay, here's what's trending today. Blue Jays pitcher Shane Bieber has decided to stay in Toronto. Bieber has exercised his $16 million player option for 2026. The Jays acquired the 30-year-old former Cy Young Award winner at the trade deadline. He made 7 regular season starts and 5 postseason appearances for the team this year after returning from Tommy John surgery.
And speaking of baseball, Game 7 of the World Series was the most watched MLB game globally in 34 years. 51 million viewers tuned in on Saturday night across Canada, the U.S., and even Jamaica. The series overall drew an average of 34 million. That is the biggest audience since 1992 and an increase of 19% over last year's Fall Classic. Here in Canada, Game 7 drew nearly 12 million viewers, making it the most watched English language broadcast on record outside of the Vancouver Olympics in 2010. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, and I think that kind of game was worth it. It's what everyone was talking about. It also was a big win for restaurants pretty much across Canada, but especially in Toronto, according to new data from Moneris. It found restaurant spending near the stadium for Game 6 climbed 20% week over week. That's not the only jump in spending. The amount of the average bill also rose 14%. By Game 7, anticipation was at its peak, with spending near the Rogers Centre up more than 26% and the average transaction size up 9%. Everyone wanted to be out taking in these games.
Spending a little extra, too.
Exactly. Still ahead on CTV News at 5, a surprise for adventurous moviegoers. The new launch by Cineplex and how they hope to encourage more people to come out and catch a flick.
And here's what you need to know. Calling all parents. The new Parent Coffee Club is happening tomorrow at Seven Shores Community Cafe. Drop by from 2 to 3:30 p.m. to connect with other new parents. You can bring your baby, sip on something warm, and chat with some new friends. Yes, pajamas and stroller naps are also welcome. Stay with us.
Here's our final 5 stories. As temperatures continue to dip and winter inches closer, mechanics around the region are gearing up for another busy season, but they're reminding drivers that getting your tires torqued after making the switch is important for safety. Experts say the general rule for when to switch over your winter tires is 7 for 7. That's 7 consistent days at 7 degrees with a retorque a few days after installation.
To make sure that all those lug nuts are still safely secure on and that there is no concerns for wheel separations. We know that wheel separations can happen from time to time, So it's just an extra safety precaution.
CAA says drivers should be getting that retorque done after 100 kilometers on the road. The next time you're looking for medical advice, you'll have to try somewhere other than ChatGPT. For better or worse, many Canadians turn to the internet for guidance on how to deal with health issues. And nowadays, that often means AI tools like Chat. But parent company OpenAI recently updated its policies so the chatbot won't offer medical or legal advice. The rules now state Chat can't be used for tailored advice that requires a license. A study led by researchers at the University of Waterloo found the bot only got 31% of open-ended medical questions entirely correct. A survey from south of the border suggests 1 in 3 dating app users is actually looking for a job and not romance. The survey spoke with more than 2,200 dating app users in the States, ages 18 to 55. 34% said they'd used the apps for professional or career-related reasons in the past year. Nearly 10% said it was the primary reason they were even on the platforms. More than half of the users turning to dating apps for their job hunt said they did so because they believed personal connections were the best way to get hired. The survey was commissioned by ResumeBuilder.com. The Guelph Storm are planning to honor a former player who went on to become a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. Dustin Brown was with the Storm from 2000 to 2003 and would go on to play 18 seasons with the LA Kings, becoming their youngest captain and also leading them to 2 Stanley Cup champions in 2012 and 2014. On Saturday, November 22nd, the Storm will be honoring Brown by retiring his number, 32, during an alumni game happening that afternoon at the Sleeman Center. Okay, finally for us, Cineplex is launching a new weekly event aimed at more adventurous moviegoers. People can buy a ticket for the Monday surprise premiere, where they won't know which new release they'll be seeing until the lights go down. The program aims to draw audiences back to the big theaters, particularly on weekdays. A recent study commissioned by Telefilm found that movie theater attendance nationwide has dropped by an average of 46% over the past 5 years. Monday surprise premieres will begin November 10th, with tickets going for $8.99. Not a bad way to see a movie and have a little surprise element to it as well. We'll leave it there. We're back at the top of the hour with your next local news. For now, over to CTV National News. Have a great night, everyone.